Hello, we are Current Energy, your solar thermal specialists. In this video, we will show you how to install the supply and return lines for your closed solar loop. Here you can see the necessary parts to plumb your closed loop from the collector to the tank and back again. We are using stainless steel corrugated hose. The tools necessary for installation are cutting tool, flaring tool, hammer, and wrench. To begin cutting the hose, straighten the portion of hose where you wish to make the cut. With the hose straightened, take up your cutting tool and place it around the hose, fastening it with the end dial. When the tool is tight on the hose, begin rotating it around the hose as seen here. You may need to tighten the tool as you rotate. After a few revolutions, the hose will separate. Now that you have your desired length of hose, straighten out the end and slide on a nut. Next, open your flaring tool and retract the ram. Place the hose inside the tool by a length of 2 corrugations. When the hose is in place, close the flaring tool and hold it closed with your hand. While still firmly holding the flaring tool, strike the ram with a hammer. Now that the end is flared and the nut securely in place, proceed to insert a high temperature silicone gasket as seen here. Now it is time to plumb the closed solar loop. Here we are attaching a compression fitting to an end of the manifold. To do this, take the fitting apart and place the nut onto the copper manifold. Then, slide a compression ring into place. Next, thread the male end and nut back together and tighten with a wrench. Mind you do not over-tighten lest you damage the manifold or fitting. Now that the compression fitting is in place, you can proceed to attach the corrugated stainless steel hose. Next, you will attach the supply side of the manifold to the top of the pump configuration and ensure that the silicone gasket is in place. Continue by connecting the base of the pump configuration to the return side of the copper coil and ensure that the silicone gasket is in place. Next, we will plumb the return side of the manifold to the supply side of the copper coil. If you have not already done so, please install the check valve onto the supply side of the copper coil and the compression fitting to the return side of the manifold. Before installing the compression fitting, ensure your vent is in place. With the check valve in place, thread the hose to the check valve. Next, thread the hose to the compression fitting on the return side of the manifold. When using many coil tanks, ensure you are using the same coil for supply and return. As well as stainless steel corrugated hose, you may use hard copper or soft copper when installing your solar collector. Avoid using PEX or CPVC as these materials are unable to withstand the high temperatures of a stagnating system. Here you can see examples of hard copper and PEX installed to the supply and return lines using sharp bite connections.